Okay, let's dive right into this incredibly exciting explainer where we are going to completely dismantle the idea that hyperfocus is only for the elite. I mean, we've all heard of the zone or the flow state, right? It's that magical feeling where you just become absolutely unstoppable, laser-focused, and time literally seems to disappear. But honestly, most of us kind of think it's this rare gift reserved for professional athletes, world-class musicians, or, genius inventors. Well, today, we're taking the source material and breaking down exactly why that belief is dead wrong.
Here is our super structured blueprint for the day. We're going to demystify the flow state, unpack the 5 essential ingredients, go through your step-by-step launch sequence, reveal the hidden fuel of recovery, and then finally look at how to rewire your entire life for flow. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1, Demystifying the Flow State. Let's look at the actual science of getting in the zone.
We are kicking things off by completely destroying the biggest misconception out there. We are constantly conditioned to believe flow is a myth, that it's mystical, random, and reserved only for the incredibly gifted. But the truth is so much better. Science actually shows that flow is a systematic, repeatable formula. It's not magic, it's structure, and it is completely accessible to you right now, whether you're an Olympic sprinter or just someone trying to finally finish that massive project at work.
And that brings us to a foundational definition. Decades of research by the renowned psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi proves that this optimal experience consistently shows up when very specific conditions are met. Think about playing a piano piece, right? If it's too easy, you're bored to tears. If it's wildly complex, you just quit in frustration. But when it perfectly matches your skill level, you are entirely absorbed. It's exactly like a perfectly balanced video game. Have you ever wondered why they're so insanely addictive? Because they're literally designed to keep you in a state of flow by gradually raising the challenge as you get better.
Moving on to Section 2, the 5 essential ingredients. These are the strict conditions your brain absolutely needs.
Let's see how this builds into an actual recipe, because honestly, if you miss even one of these 5 ingredients, you'll probably miss flow entirely. First up, your brain literally hates vagueness, so you need crystal clear, actionable goals. No, I'm going to work for a bit. It has to be, I'm writing 200 words. Second, that challenge skill balance we just talked about. Third, you've got to eliminate all distractions. Seriously, you have to build an impenetrable force field around your attention. Fourth, ritual and environment. You need consistent cues, maybe it's 3 deep breaths or a specific playlist, to tell your brain it's go time. And finally, intrinsic motivation. If you're only doing a task because someone forced you to, flow is tough to find. You have to connect it to your own personal growth.
This perfectly illustrates the very heart of flow. It's all about balancing the challenge perfectly against your current skills, so you stretch but you don't break. When a task is way too easy and your skill level is high, you're just bored and checking out. When it's insanely hard but your skill is low, you get frustrated and quit. But when that task is just challenging enough and matches your skill, boom, you've hit the flow state.
So how do you actually use this? Well, a fantastic way to gauge this in your daily life is to ask yourself, does this task feel like a 7 out of 10 in difficulty? Because that number, that 7 out of 10, is the absolute sweet spot you want to hit. It's just hard enough to force you to pay attention, but not so hard that it causes anxiety.
But listen, all that perfect difficulty won't mean a thing if you don't turn off your phone and close those 40 extra browser tabs to protect your fragile attention. A single notification shatters that focus force field. The research points out that it can take 20 agonizing minutes just to recover from one tiny ping and get back into the zone. 20 minutes! So your environment really does need to be bulletproof.
Let's jump into Section 3, your flow launch sequence. Here is your step-by-step practical blueprint.
Knowing the ingredients is great, but it's kind of like having a map without a compass, right? So let's get super practical with a sequence to train your brain to slip into focus almost automatically. Step 1, decide. Set one clear goal and pick a specific time block, 30, 60, or 90 minutes. Step 2, ritual. Do a consistent starting action every time. Step 3, the micro start. This is huge. Do not wait for motivation. Just take the tiniest possible action. Draw one single line. Write one word. Step 4, single task. Commit and push through those clumsy, awkward first 10 to 15 minutes before flow actually arrives. And finally, Step 5, the energy stop. Stop while you still have a little gas left in the tank. Speaking of stopping, I absolutely love this adorable little brain hack. The pro trick here is to literally leave a sentence unfinished or a problem half done, because you stop while you still have energy and leave a thread hanging. Jumping back into the zone next time becomes totally effortless. Your brain just naturally wants to close that open loop. All right, section 4, the hidden fuel, which is recovery, and why pushing harder actually breaks flow.
So what you do after your focus session matters just as much as what you do during it. This brings us to a really counterintuitive truth. You can't sprint forever. We're always bombarded by hustle culture, right? Push harder, grind longer, stay locked in until you completely crash. But flow science tells a totally different story. Peak states require valleys. Intentional recovery isn't the enemy of your productivity, it is the literal battery charger for it.
Why is that? Because all those amazing neurochemicals, like dopamine and endorphins, that flood your system during flow, they feel incredible, but they get depleted. You have to restock them. You do that through quality sleep, which literally resets the brain and builds flow-friendly neural pathways. You do it through movement to flush out stress. And, believe it or not, you do it through boredom. Quiet, sweet, do-nothing moments actually recharge your attention span. That is exactly why your best ideas always hit you in the shower.
Finally, section 5, rewiring life for flow, making focus your default operating system.
Let's elevate this, because stacking these flow sessions together isn't just about knocking out a work project, it transforms your entire life. Look at this timeline. By day 1, your days immediately stop feeling scattered and distracted. By week 1, your confidence is growing because you're constantly proving to yourself that you can handle challenges. And by month 1, your whole sense of meaning expands. As you rewire your brain to prefer depth over distraction, you stop just doing tasks and start living fully inside your moments. Life becomes this joyful series of growth.
And the absolute best part? Flow is definitely not limited to the office. You can set these conditions anywhere. Bring it into your workouts so time just vanishes. Bring it into your cooking or your hobbies. Just imagine having deep conversations where the other person feels truly seen, or creative sessions where the ideas are just pouring out faster than you can even write them down.
So I want to leave you with this really powerful question. What if focus wasn't a fight, but a natural state you could step into whenever you chose?